Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Stevie's here, Nedum's here, and Juls is here. Hopefully we can hear him and we can see him. Juls, Nedum did an impression of you. Nedum did an impression of you. Would you care to do it again, Nedum?
So what I was saying, Jules, was when you were talking about celebration, I believe you started with saying, "Oh, come on, man." Is that fair? Is that fair, Jules? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you know me very well, my brother, very well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. I'm just looking for our questions. I don't have them in front of me, so I'm going to read them off the screen. It's just one of those shows today. OK, so let's get started with the first question here on Extra Time tonight. For Stevie and Nedum, did you enjoy playing on Boxing Day, or did you wish you had a winter break, like the Bundesliga? Let me start with you, Stevie.
I wouldn't say enjoy's the word. Enjoy's not the word. And I wouldn't have liked a winter break, no. Because you've still got to play the games, and they wouldn't extend the season, not knowing the league or the people that were running the league, particularly when I was playing. So no, I don't want a break. I don't understand this. So teams have a break, but I hear a lot of teams go away for a week's training somewhere, right?
Maybe, but often on the break you see them just having an actual break.
No, I don't want a break.
OK.
No, absolutely not.
Nedum?
Yeah, I would agree, Stevie, to be honest. I think playing on Boxing Day, it's fun if you win. You know, it's fun if your team's doing well, but you've just got games getting churned out. And unfortunately as well, you know, this is the part of the season where you're playing, it's the darkest, it's the coldest, it's the wettest, it's like a bit miserable. And then you're watching games like Arsenal versus Ipswich. Imagine being like Ipswich from there. You've come away from the Emirates. It's like, yeah, but we had 2 shots. You know, that's a good thing for us. So, yeah, I'm not sure about that. And then Stevie's right as well. With the breaks, I see these teams doing mini pre-seasons. So, no, I would not decide to stop to have a Christmas off, to have a mini pre-season somewhere halfway through the season. 1 pre-season is enough. So, yeah, just keep me playing. We'll figure it out. And then the season can end when it needs to end.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin?
Listen, I can't get myself home at night. Never mind Milwaukee. Where's that?
I'm gonna get you a map of America.
Good job we got GPS.
All right. Nedum, is it a good idea to recall Kalvin Phillips back to the current City squad this upcoming transfer window?
Wow. I don't know if Kalvin Phillips wants to come back, to be honest, regardless of whatever situation City are in. And if he did come back, please, Kalvin, come back to a crisis. This will bring out the best in you, when previously it didn't work out in a beautiful situation. So, no, I don't think that will necessarily be their plan. I think overall it feels like both parties kind of need to be separate. Kalvin playing elsewhere and City without him. Maybe they'll be looking for someone else to sort of come in for that sort of role. But I don't think a return for Kalvin Phillips is the answer for neither City nor Kalvin, in my opinion.
Jules, this one for you. I would have never thought Cristiano's ego could get any bigger as he gets older. But do the guys agree with his Saudi league is stronger than the French league?
I mean, I can guarantee you that it's not, but he's going to defend his league and he's going to defend his club. I can understand that in a way. This is also Cristiano we're talking about, so for him, he has to be playing in one of the top leagues, because otherwise he doesn't really feel that's where Cristiano belongs. All that kind of narrative, I guess, is there in the interviews that he's been given since day one, really, since he arrived in Saudi Arabia. It's not the first time that he's saying things like that. So I'm not surprised, but having watched a lot of Saudi League recently, there's some really good teams with some great players, but I think overall, as a league overall, it's not at the level of the top 6 or 7 European leagues for sure.
Saw the reaction there. Sharp intake of breath from both Nedum and Stevie there. Jules, it's another question for you. Are you a little envious that the players in La Liga and Bundesliga have used their winter break and come to the USA to watch some NBA games? They've got autographs and swapped jerseys and shoes.
Yeah, that's really cool. But I think, as a lot of the viewers know, it's even better for us in France because the NBA actually come to us. We don't have to go to the NBA. We don't need to waste our private jet to go from Barcelona to Milwaukee. No. We've got the NBA coming to Paris. You see, it's even better.
I think they'd rather go to Saudi Arabia.
Say what? If any players ever complain about travelling again, I hope somebody tells them to button it. All they do is complain about, pre-season we go to America and we go here and we go there.
You've just said
and then they get a week off and they go to America.
You've just said, though, that in the winter breaks, many of them are often travelling anyway, so wouldn't they have a right to then complain if they thought it was a break?
Say that again.
So you said usually when there's a winter break, many of them are travelling anyway
somewhere.
With the team, or the players go away.
Yeah, they either go with the team, but obviously they go away on their own.
So they're not allowed to ever complain about travelling because of that?
Of course you can't.
It's a different type of travelling, isn't it?
What's different about it?
Because you don't have to train. Well, you sat on a plane, but then you can just lay down on the beach and chill. You're not training every day.
Behave yourself.
Beach in Wisconsin in December. Whoa, good luck with that.
They absolutely 100% complain about travelling. So don't travel when you get a break. Because it's just completely and totally and utterly hypocritical. Whether you're sitting on the beach or giving all that, you've still got to travel back. So there's 2 days. You're sat on a plane for 2 days, guaranteed. So don't complain. Button it.
Button it. All right. Nedum, where has been your favourite vacation in 2024? Don't be complaining about travelling, Nedum.
How many vacations?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to travel to 1 or 2 places, but in terms of vacation, I can't even remember where I went, to be honest. I've had a few work trips. I've been to Toronto, been to Abu Dhabi, been to Madrid. That was fun with Dan Thomas. That was quite an experience, linking up with the little fella again. Where else have I been to? Do you know what? It's tough. I'll say Toronto. It's nice to go back there. Really nice people. Did some stuff with the Maple Leafs as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed Toronto, apart from the fact it was literally like minus 10 degrees Celsius. But you know, it's part and parcel of the trip, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Nice stuff. Nice travels as well. 2024. Juls, favourite vacation this year?
That's a good question. We've just been to Lapland with the kids to see Santa, and that was pretty. I have to say that was pretty awesome. So I'd pick that one.
That's a nice one. Did you go to Lapland, Stevie, ever? No.
Well, not real.
What's your favourite vacation?
Not far from
this
Milwaukee,
year?
Stevie. Not far from Milwaukee.
This year I was trying to think for a bit. I went to Liverpool. Hardly exotic. It was nice and grey and wet. Windy. Where else have I been? I don't remember.
Can't remember.
Yeah, Liverpool. I'll say Liverpool. The only one I can remember.
My American producer seems to think that some people here don't know where Lapland is. Jules, can you explain further, please?
Yeah, it's the north of Finland, so one of the most northern region or cities that you can find. That's where Santa is from, really. The reindeers, the elves, everything you want. So if you're looking for Santa, go there.
Nice. Okay, last question. Did you do any New Year's resolutions when you were a footballer? And if so, what were they, Nedum?
Flipping heck. I'm not really a big resolutions guy, to be honest. And as a footballer, you know, you kind of just be doing stuff anyway. Like if it's important, why does it need to start next month? Why doesn't it start next week? You just need to do it now. I think there was one which I tried to make when I was at City under Mancini, was just try and get into the team. But, you know, 3 weeks later I was at QPR, so that one didn't quite work out. But, you know, sometimes it's the way football goes. So, yeah, no, not too many resolutions for me now. Nothing at all.
One day we need to do the reunion with Nedum and Mancini. It would be amazing.
Honestly,
and they can finally have it out.
I bet you. No, but this is the funny thing, yes. There's this idea of like a parasocial relationship. And it's kind of like people, for example, the great audience that watch this show, they know us all really well, but we don't know all of them. And for Mancini, like in that spell, he's like my biggest nemesis. But I bet you if he saw me again, he wouldn't even remember who I am. And that's the situation. So there's no closure to be gained from me. It's like, who is this guy? What does he want? You know what I mean? But, you know, here we are.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Make it happen, ESPN. Stevie, resolutions?
None.
None?
Absolutely none.
Did you ever have any superstitions?
Oh, millions of them.
Did you? I can imagine you having a few.
Oh, and they changed every week. I mean, just the crazy, stupid things. I mean, I still got daft things that I do. Like, if I wash my hands, I've got to use 3 pieces of paper to dry my hands from the thing.
Waste.
I mean, I do stuff like that all the time.
I think that's with a lot of professional athletes. You see these things. Did you have any superstitions, Nedum?
No, not really. No, I'm all right, to be fair. There was a point where there was a time when I used to be like very strict. I need to do this, need to go to bed at this time, so on and so forth. And interestingly, it's a story around Christmas time, and we were going to have a game on maybe the 26th, and then I think it was the 28th. And the manager, Harry Redknapp at the time at QPR, said that whoever plays on the 26th is not going to play on the 28th. So I took the game on the 26th so seriously, so seriously. Played the game, scores, whatever it was, and I thought, right, down tools now. I can just relax, do a bit of recovery, eat some food, do whatever I want. And then when that game came up the next day, I was in the team, and I wasn't ready for it. But it turned out I played better in the second game than I did the first game. So from then I was like, well, what's the point in doing anything? As long as I feel good and feel happy, let's just go and play football.
You know, there was 2 guys in our team, Ronnie Whelan and Bruce Grobbelaar. And before a game, Ronnie Whelan had to throw up in the toilets. And so we'd all be sitting in the dressing room, and Ronnie would go through, and sometimes it would take him like a minute, sometimes it would take 5, sometimes it would take 10, and then eventually he'd shove his fingers down his throat. But every time, and he would just, all you would hear is, and then everybody would go, yay! And then Ronnie would come out. He had to throw up before every game.
Oh,
You just
no.
hear him heaving away.
Oh, lovely.
And then Grobbelaar, Bruce, had to go into the... So, it used to be the old baths, where everybody used to go in.
Yeah.
He used to have to get the ball and either volley it or half volley it until he put the light out. So, just depending on how long it took him, he had to put the light switch out.
Was there ever a time when it just took
Ronnie would be
ages?
like, hey you, get a move on. He'd be like, right, I'll be there in a minute. And he'd be like, he'd be volleying the ball, trying to put the light out. And then same thing, as soon as he got the light out, it was more of a, thank God for that.
And then he was okay.
Ronnie was the best one though.
Ronnie, yeah. I mean, it's not a nice one though, is it? Just as we end, we're hearing Arteta saying that Saka's undergone surgery, Juls. We're not going to ask you for any details on that, but obviously we heard that he's going to be out of action. What's the impact this is going to have on Arsenal?
Yeah, I think that's the bad news that every Arsenal fan, everybody within the club really feared to hear from Mikel Arteta, because he said the other day that it would be out for many weeks, but without being too precise, what's many weeks? It could be 3, 4. Is it more than 4? Is it more than 6? More than 8? And as we all know, there's grades with muscular injuries, depending on how serious the injury is, from grade 1, grade 2, etc., etc. And at times, a low grade could just be 2 to 3 weeks. If you have surgeries, that the grade is pretty bad, because clearly the muscle was not going to repair itself on its own, like often you can have. If you feel a bit your hamstring, you do not much for 2 weeks, and after that you're okay, or 3 weeks. To go and have surgery on a muscular injury like an hamstring problem, that means because the injury was pretty bad. So now we're probably talking around 3 months, I would think, after a surgery like that, depending how quickly Bukayo can heal from the surgery itself. And 3 months without, I think 3 weeks would be too much already. 3 months is unbelievable bad timing for Arsenal, and a massive blow. I don't think they can ever be the same team without him for that long. But we said it when Odegaard got injured, Nedum and I, many times. I think you can deal with such a big player missing for 2, 3, maybe 4 games. More than that, I think you would really struggle, and I think Arsenal are going to struggle massively for the next few weeks.
Nedum, what's the process like coming back from a hamstring injury like this?
I think it depends on the nature of it. So for myself, I've actually, weird as this may sound, I've actually snapped 3 hamstring tendons, but only 1 required surgery. And I think for Saka, it's a case of, well, if it's a tendon, for example, is it in the lower part or is it on the higher part closer towards your glutes? And when you come back, so I'd snapped my outside tendon in my left leg just by my knee, and that got reattached, and I came back in 10 weeks. and not only did I come back, I think at the end of that season I ended up getting Player of the Season, so you can come back from it, but the stages are so slow. I think as a player, you should never, it's always tough when you have to have a surgery on anything, because it means that it's quite significant. Something there's had to be an intervention to give you a chance to be back to where you are. And I think for Saka, you know, maybe he's had 1 or 2 hamstring injuries and stuff in the past, but to have a surgery now, you will be wondering, you'll be feeling so much pain at this stage now potentially, and you'll be itching to get back there, but you can't rush it. It will take time to heal, and it will take time for him to be back to close to where he has full belief in himself. And even then, when will he be at 100% in terms of how good he's been? We're talking about their second top scorer, the person with the most assists and one of the most consistent players in the Premier League over the last few years. I think it's going to be tough for him emotionally because he is so available, like he plays so much football. But in reality, if they needed to do it, then it's going to be for his good, both in the short, medium and long term. And hopefully he can come back fighting fit, and may this never happen to him again.
We obviously wish Bukayo Saka well in his recovery. Thank you so much for sending in your questions for the latest edition of Extra Time. We'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again.